Hello and welcome to Football Chats with Mikey. Now, today we have a few things we want to chat about, and we only have a little bit of time, so we're going to jump straight in here. Starting off today with a top 5 list of my most hated things in football, and this one, some of them are controversial, some of them are, people might not bother about them, but they bug me. Okay, quick drink of my coffee. Let's go. So coming in at number 5 is offsides. No, I don't mean offsides in general. Nothing to do with that. But it's linesmen's when the player is 10 yards, 20 yards offside, clearly offside, and they don't put the flag up straight away. Just do it. Just do it. It really bugs me. The play could run on, the striker could get through, and the keeper wipes him out injured. Avoidable. Or the ball goes through, the striker tries to get, injures the keeper. Avoidable. Same scenario, defender gets back in, makes a tackle, injures himself or injures the striker. Avoidable. Put your flag up if it's offside. If it's tight, fair, let go to VAR. That's understandable. You don't want to make a decision if it's too close for you to see. But when it's clear and obvious, just put the flag up. Right. 4. Coming in number 4, we have. Now this one's a pet hate, and I see it a lot in Scotland. It kind of happens in lower leagues. It doesn't really happen in England and the bigger nations. But here in Scotland, we have a crisis of away fans and filling out other team stadiums. It's a big no-no for me. You go to a home game and you want your fans to be there. Now I understand. Not every team has the same amount of fans as, say, Hearts, Hibs, Celtic, Rangers, Aberdeen. But just don't let other teams fill your stadium. I get it's money. I get the money side of it. It just really bugs me to see Celtic having free stands at Kilmarnock. Kilmarnock should be filling up half their stadium at least. Come on. And all these fans that just support Celtic and Rangers and then he'd be in the home end for a Kilmarnock and that. You support where you're from. Just support where you're from. If you're from Kilmarnock or you're from Livingston or you're from Falkirk, support Falkirk, support Livingston, support Kilmarnock. I'm from Edinburgh, so I had the choice of two. I went with Hearts. I'm still picking a team from my city. Glory Hunters. Right. Moving on to number 3. The 3 PM kickoffs and no being televised. I get there might have been a time where they were televised and fans weren't going to games and they were just watching it on TV. But football's at a time where people want to go to games. I'm a Hearts fan and we have a waiting list for season tickets. But it's impossible to get tickets these days. So we didn't get to see every game. And it's heartbreaking. Because fans want to watch their team play. They want to see the team play. The 3 PM ban is just the most stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. And no wonder people are away and buying fire sticks and getting dodgy sticks and getting dodgy TVs. Because they want to watch their team play. And on the other side of that, the leagues themselves could come out with a better system to allow fans to watch the game. Get the broadcasting rights for the games and create their own streaming service where it's legalised, where fans can pay to watch. The league's making income, the fans are getting to watch the game, and no one's buying dodgy sticks. Simple as that. Okay. Number 2, and this one really bugs me. It really bugs me, and it's happening so much in modern football. It's passing around the back. I get sometimes you need to slow the game down and you need to keep the ball, but keep it in a positive area. When you're playing at the back with the ball, you're opening up the other team to come and press, and all it takes is one mistake, and the other team's on a straight attack. Also, it just looks boring. Football's an entertaining sport. It's meant to be an entertaining sport. Playing football at the back just isn't entertaining. It does not entertain me anyway. That's my personal opinion. What's wrong with getting it into midfield, playing it across the lines in midfield, then trying to start an attack for there? You're not going to score a goal sitting in your own half playing the ball about. And I get some teams trying to open up defences in midfields by kind of springing the ball a bit back and forward along the lines and then finding that ball into midfield. But there's teams that are doing it for 10, 20 minutes all game long. Just go and attack the ball. You're not going to win a game or get a point or score goals by sitting playing defensive football. Right. And finally, moving on to my biggest petty hate in football, and it's only since VARs came in, is refs not making their own decisions. Simply allowing the game to flow and waiting to see if VAR tells them to change their mind. There's times where there's horrible tackles or clear goals that are handball or offside, and the referee, or a penalty decision, and the referee's just letting play go on, hoping that if VAR needs to tell them to go back and change it, it does. They do. Just make a decision. You're paid to make decisions. You make mistakes, you learn from mistakes. You go back and you can look at it, and having the VAR, you can go back and look at it and see, I was actually wrong there. I should have seen that. And I get not every referee's got eye view, but you should be, realistically. If you're a referee, you should be in a position to see everything that's happening. If you're not, then you're not a very good referee. Simple as that. It just bugs me. It really bugs me. Just do your job. As Roy Keane would say, just do your job. Right. That was my most hated things in football, the top 5. Some of them, again, you might not agree with. Some of them really just do bug me and I need to get off my chest, really. So moving on to something happier. Scotland. Scotland have qualified for the World Cup in the first time in 27 years. And I'm ecstatic about it. I'm so over the moon, so delighted. It was the bumpiest road I've ever seen in my life. We had some dodgy games, some really, really, really bad decisions in games, but we also had the grit and determination to get through. Now, after the Greece game when we lost 3-2, I really thought it was done. We got a bit of luck with Denmark drawing, but that's just Scottish way. It's Scotland way all over. We get that little bit of luck, we get that little bit of joy, and go in. Normally though, in previous years, when we get to that point, a one-game shootout, we intend to lose those games. So for us to win in the manner we did, although I do believe Denmark controlled a lot of the game, even with the 10 men. They did control most of the possession. They kind of dictated how Scotland played. But when you're screaming and banging and scoring goals for that range, Kasper Schmeichel's got no chance. The way the trainer hit that ball and the whip, you've seen it as it whipped past the boy's head, the curve it took. They're probably thinking, and the boy, is it Vestergaard? He's thinking that's gone wide. Look at the way it moved. It came right round and swung back in. Like, unbelievable. And Kenny McLean with the halfway liner, you just can't, nothing you can say about that. It's outstanding. To have the vision, but to have the technique to pull that off. Because it's not a hard thing to do, is score for the halfway line. You've got to get everything right. The height, the dip, the power, the accuracy. It's not easy to do. It's not what football players are doing it. There's only a select few that have actually pulled that off and scored. But in such a big game too. Which moves us on to the World Cup and the chances of Scotland getting out of group. Now, as a Scotland fan, I totally understand that we have just scraped by to get there. So I'm not expecting massive things. I'm not expecting us to go and win the World Cup. It's never going to happen. Unless we just randomly have like the youth team for gods, really. Unless we sprung up 15 outstanding Messis in the world. We're not going to win a World Cup. But to be there is outstanding. It's unbelievable. and to do it in the manner we did is unbelievable. Depending on the group, really, actually, it really depends on the group and how it's drawn, the fixture list, because there's teams that you look at around the world and you're like, I'd fancy my chances. I mean, look at the Euros last time. Switzerland and Hungary, I fancied my chances. We should have done better in the games, especially the Switzerland one at 1-1. We had the ability to go on and they kind of sat back in, and we should have sprung on and went and pushed them. The Germany games are right off. Like, they were always going to be outstanding in their first game, and Scotland just poor. In the Hungary game, we can't even comprehend that. Like, we dominate the game for so long and then lose. And I guess that's football, and that's how things go when you're no scoring. You've got to score, take your chances. But it was just a killer. But certainly the World Cup, with some of the teams that we could be drawn against, I like to think we could maybe push to get the group. If just being there's enough for us as a nation, we'll certainly bring the party. We'll bring the vibes that we did in Germany. But hey, we're there. What can we say? What can we say? Right, moving on. So, one of the things I wanted to talk about is the state of the Premier League right now. The Premier League this year has been awful, and I'm talking about the English Premier League. It's been awful. You've got champions Liverpool getting whitewashed everywhere. You've got Man City starting off so badly that they're now having to fought their way back. Chelsea, on the other hand, have been outstanding since the start of the year. Tottenham looked like they started to be back to their old selves, and then suddenly just started piling losses on the go and draws, and looking like they're going to be back to where they were last season. Arsenal look like they're strong favourites this year to go and win it with the team they've got. I do think they maybe need to strengthen it in the midfield. Their midfield's good. Declan Rice is a phenomenal player, but I think they do need to strengthen on that in their bench. As for Liverpool, just goes to show money's no everything. Money's no everything. Isak's not performing. Kerkez is struggling. Frimpong's struggling. And it's all to do with, you can buy these fantastic players from around the world in different leagues, but they're in different leagues. It's not the Premier League. The Premier League is fast paced, it's powerful, it's consistent, it's constant. You're constantly attack, defend. It's never like the German League kind of with Frimpong. You get a chance to breathe. It's no full on. It's not full on 24/7. Same way like the Italian leagues. Now Kerkez has got no excuse. He's played in the league. He was an outstanding player in the league. But is it like Lukaku, where he plays at a smaller club and shines, or a Grealish where he's at a smaller club and shines, and then he goes to the big stage and he just can't do it? He's not got the minerals to carry himself forward in that role. Who knows? Man United though look like they're on track to spring a top 4 finish again, maybe even top 6 at the least. They look very good, and they've got a January transfer to come as well, which will be interesting to see how they go on. I'm a Spurs fan, so I'm kind of hoping Thomas Frank gets us going. But I think we need to strengthen in midfield. Maybe we need to go and buy another striker. Sawyer Richarlison and Solanke. Solanke was a weird buy for me. Really weird buy. You just sold one of the world's best players. Surely you have to go and replace that with someone that's as established as a Kane. Obviously there's not a lot of them around, but there was. Like João Pedro at Brighton, go and try and get him. Why not dip in and see if you can get Isak? I know it would have cost us a lot of money, but Tottenham makes a lot of money. They do, they really do. Sorry guys, I need a drink. Then on the other hand, you got Sunderland. What a season they're having. They look like they've got it right in their recruitment in the summer. Burnley look no bad. I guess Wolves look in a bad place. West Ham. I feel so sorry for Jared Bowen. That guy's given them so many years, and I still don't understand why he's there. Why is no bigger club took a chance on him? I guess age is a factor. He's 28 now, 29. Maybe think it might actually be 30. He's a phenomenal wee player. And a better team again could be the curse of the bigger team though. He could move to a Man United, Liverpool, something like that and just flop. We've seen it many a time with big players in the league who have moved to the big teams and just didn't have the minerals to take the jump. They just didn't. I do think a January transfer excuse me, is needed. A lot of teams need to strengthen, improve in key areas really. I think strikers one of the main ones. We're not seeing a lot of outstanding strikers this year. We have got a few in the league who are shining, but there is some that are just like, you're a bit mid. But I'll be interested to see what teams do in January and how they can move forward on the rest of the season and see who comes out on that top spot. So, my final little segment is just a short video today. As I say, I've not got a lot of time, but I just wanted to do a quick video and have a chat. The final segment is the Scottish Premier League. Now, I know this doesn't interest everyone, but it certainly does me. And it certainly does this year, with being a Hearts fan and being top. What a start. What a very poor start for the rest of the league. Celtic and Rangers just look awful. The recruitments are so wrong. I guess Rangers were having multiple managers over the years. They're just not getting it right. It's very, very hard to get a team right when there's so much change at the top. You need that consistency and someone that's going to come in and stay in to then bring in their own players and work with these players. I mean, you've got players that have come in the door, they're already gone. You've got players that are still there for a long time ago that are maybe used to playing a certain way with other managers that maybe struggle to understand why a manager would play a different way when the other way did work. In a sense, I know Rangers in a sense, they haven't been great over the years. They've kind of trailed behind Celtic. But there was improvements. We've seen them reach quarterfinals of Europa Leagues and stuff like that. It's going to be improvements. They've made the final of the Europa League. Celtic, on the other hand, just look dead awful. Iheanacho looks like he should have retired 10 years ago. Callum McGregor is probably the only shining star in the team. Kieran Tierney come back for the Premier League. Injury again, crisis. The lad has had it so tough, so tough. You've got Maeda, looks like he's finally met his match. He looks washed. I think once defenders understand that he's just speed, he has no technical ability. He has no technical ability. Letting Kyogo go and Ida was probably the biggest mistake Celtic ever made. Now, I know Ida wasn't outstanding, but he gave you a top man, a boy up front that can hold up. He'll chip in with a couple of goals, but he causes a threat. Kyogo wasn't always about scoring goals as well. It was a threat him being there. It's like Lawrence Shankland with Scotland. Defenders want to double up because they know when he gets the ball, he's a threat. Leaving other players around him to fill in the spaces and find pockets of space for them to go and play. Now, that might mean that Shankland or Kyogo or Ida didn't score 30 goals this season, but the team benefits from it. And I just think Celtic got that wrong. Celtic just got that absolutely wrong. But some of the other teams in the league look good. I mean, you've got Hibs doing well this year, unfortunately. Falkirk looked good this year. They kind of look like they're on track to stay up. Motherwell started off really well, taking draws at Hearts and Rangers, and then just kind of flopped. But that Elijah Just for them is a little outstanding boy. I watched him against Hearts, and he just absolutely ran the show. It's definitely someone I'd be looking at getting in January, but I think the price tag might outdo us this time. But he just looks so confident in everything he does. He can come short, click ball, carry. He can spring a pass. He can join in the attack, get in good spaces, pick up pockets of space where he's going to be able to do what he wants to do with the ball. And I think that really helped Motherwell at the start of the season. I do think their team, again, it's one of the ones that, yes, it's like everyone's a bit rusty at the start of the season. No one really knows how a team's going to play, especially when you've recruited. I think Motherwell brought in a new manager. It becomes harder to read a team when it's not the same team as you've previously played, and also you're not playing with the same team, because there's constant overturn in football. That's the thing, is there's no. I can't remember the last time I ever seen a team not going to a transfer window and buy multiple players, or even 2 or 3 players. Every team's constantly changing. They're constantly growing. You've got to adapt quick, and if you can't do that, you become stuck in a rut. I think that was one of the issues with Hearts last season. It's when we were really in a deep doo-doo. Was there's so much change in the team. The manager didn't quite get it right either, and they just couldn't get the game going. They couldn't get the wins they needed, and then by the time you do start to kind of click, you're kind of in a rut. You're in bottom of the league. You're struggling. Like, it's too late to actually kick on and do something properly. I do still think Hearts should have finished top 6 last year. We should have done better in games to go and finish top 6. But that's football. But thank you guys for watching, and look out for the next video. We'll have some more football stuff. We are expecting some mystery football kits, which will be nice. And we will be looking at getting some more cards to open. If there's any sort of cards you want to see, leave a comment. Any sort of football content you want to chat about, leave a comment. If you just want to go in and slate me, leave a comment. I'm open ears, and I'm no fruit geek. So thanks for watching.